Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spanj's Build Academy, and I've got a nice easy one for us today, guys. We're going to be talking about oxygenating rooms, air pressure, and keeping plants alive and things like that. So there's no better place to talk about keeping oxygen in a room than space. So I'm up here with this little CV that we're haphazardly putting together as we work our way through this series. So what I want to do is I want this bridge to have oxygen. I want it to have air pressure. And I've put a little garden down here that I also want to have oxygen and to grow plants. Now, you probably notice some glaring holes already in the design. So we've definitely got some holes in the hull that we haven't filled yet. They're the obvious ones. So we'll need to make sure that everything is airtight. However, it's not as straightforward as you might think getting things airtight, and I'll explain why. Some blocks are airtight, some are not. Generally, if you hover over a block, and it will have airtight, and then it will say false or true. You can just see there I've got the furnishings deco block highlighted. It says placeable CVBA, and under it says airtight false. Whereas if I go to, say, standard steel block, airtight true. Now that's interesting because the standard steel blocks aren't always shaped like a whole cube. You could have something like that. That is still airtight. That is still airtight. Crazily. So even though the block has got huge gaps in it, it will still be airtight, which makes for some interesting logic fails. I'll link down below to a video that Lift Pizza did where he went through pretty much every block that's airtight and every one that's not. He just sort of lined them out in a big row and grouped them up to airtight and not airtight. But let's go through how we first of all get some airflow through this ship. Let's start with the bridge up here. There it is. So the first thing that you need before you put in a ventilator is we actually need some oxygen storage. So I've got some O2 tanks here, and I'm just gonna stash them down here for now. Let's put them on their ends and stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. So we've got some O2. Now we can fill this up in our P menu here. Just make sure you've actually got some oxygen bottles on you, and that fills that up. So we have oxygen on board now. That's great. Now we want to make it flow around the ship. So very simply, I first of all make sure my room is completely sealed. So I've got window blocks and normal blocks everywhere, all the way around. Okay. So now I need to just place a block. I'm going to take that one out there and I can place it there. Okay. So there's our ventilator for our bridge, and we can see the fans are already whirling around. We go back into our P menu, make sure the oxygen thing is switched on over here, and that should, as soon as you place a ventilator, it should start circulating oxygen throughout. However, if you notice down in the bottom left corner, you've got an O2 symbol next to your helmet there, and that isn't lit up right now. Now it should light up, and if I stand right next to the ventilator, it does light up, but for the rest of the room, it seems to turn off. So something's wrong here. Something isn't quite right. Now, those of you that know all about this already, you will be shouting at the screen, no doubt. I've done it on purpose, by the way, as a demonstration, so don't worry. What you can do is, if you're having a problem where the oxygen isn't going into the room, and you're having this issue where if you stand next to the ventilator, you get O2. If you stand away from it, the O2 disappears. Just hit the N key, go to the debug menu over here and click show oxygen, and you should see the little oxygen diamonds indicating where there is oxygen in the room. Now we want this oxygen to be in this entire room. So we don't know why it's not working, so let's tick the show airtight blocks tick as well, and this will turn every single block that is airtight into a bright green square, which is, you know, hideous to look at. But we've got two very glaring errors in our airtight blocks here. If we look around the entire room, everything is airtight apart from these two doors here. So there's our problem. We've put the wrong doors in. Now, doors are interesting because Airtight varies. It's not true, it's not false, it varies. It varies depending on what type of door you select from the shape menu here. So if we hover the mouse over each one, we can see airtight true, airtight false. The glass doors are not airtight. So all we need to do is replace those like that, and then give it a couple of seconds, and bingo. The entire room now is filled with oxygen. Interestingly, however, those doors still do not appear bright green. If we turn it off and on again, it does. Okay, so just bear that in mind. If you're sort of replacing blocks and going, well, none of them are airtight, just tick that on and off, and it will update, and it should show the airtight blocks on the second go. So there we go. We've managed to get that room nice and oxygenated, and indeed down in the bottom left, our O2 icon is lit up. So that's good. So now we want to apply the same logic down here. Now this should be a little bit easier. We've just got some holes to fill in basically. So this one's nice and easy. We'll put a door there, and we'll put a block there. Okay, so that's this hole here that will be an entrance into the ship is now sealed off from this garden, and now we've got this issue over here as well, and this will be nice and easy as well. We'll just fill that in. We're going to put some shutter doors there, and again we're going to put a door there. Simples. And then we're going to just we'll take that block out and we'll put an oxygen thing there. Let's check our filters. Bingo bango. There we go. Nice and easy. So we should be able to now put some grow lights on the ceiling here, put some plants in, and they will grow quite happily. Turn those off. Grab some grow lights. Put a couple of those in place. There we go. And then when we start planting some plants, they should grow quite happily, providing we keep this room oxygen tight, airtight, and don't take these doors out. And there we go. And even though this ventilator is both this side and this side of the airtight room. I mean, this section is not airtight because we've got a massive hole into space here. It still works. It still works. This counts as an airtight block, even though it's ventilating air out here. You're not losing air as well. Now, there's a big debate at the moment of whether plants can grow without O2 on temperate planets. So down there, if we were down on the planet and we didn't have a ventilator, we could plant our plants under some grow lights, and during normal day they would grow. They would grow. What you have to remember is the temperature, the ambient temperature. Plants will only grow when within a certain temperature range. So I generally recommend, even if you are on a temperate planet, put in a ventilator, because it regulates the temperature as well. You notice the temperature in this room is 25 degrees. On the right hand side, you got three temperature numbers. The first temperature number is your temperature. The second at the top is the temperature of the room you're in, and the temperature below that is the temperature of the environment outside. So if I step outside, my temperature drops quite significantly. Sorry, the big temperature is the temperature of the current space you're in. The little one is the temperature, your temperature. I got that mixed up, sorry. So yeah, that regulates the temperature. It keeps it at 25 degrees, even when it's minus whatever outside. So if you are on a temperate planet, but you got to remember shifting temperatures. Night temperatures can drop down, and day temperatures can go up. They can go up to like 30 odd, and then you might start seeing your plants die, or at the very least stop growing because the temperature isn't quite right. If you put a ventilator in, it regulates the temperature. So that's what I recommend if you're growing plants, even on a temperate planet, just put a vent in. But there we go. That's airtight rooms, pretty much in a nutshell. Like I said, Liv Pizza did a great video on this ages ago. I'll link to that below. Check it out if you want a more sort of comprehensive description of the blocks that are airtight and not. But in a nutshell, that's how you make airtight rooms. That's how you debug airtight rooms, and that's how you grow plants properly and stuff. Anyway, that is today's episode of Build Academy. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it useful. If you did, consider hitting that like button And remember to hit subscribe for more Spanj's Build Academy videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.